welcome back to Hannity. Last night, Florida Senator Marco Rubio delivered the official GOP response to the president's State of the Union address, and he laid out why the president's plan is destined for failure. And the mainstream media did what they do best, and they attacked him for menial things like this moment during the speech when Rubio had to reach, the thought of it, for a drink of water. And then there was a top staffer at Univision who took to Facebook to say, quote, "Oh, wow, the loser's going to speak after our president. Anything to get publicity. He is the token slave boy chosen to look like a fool once again." And last but not least, thrill up his leg, Chris Matthews. Here's his offensive commentary.
I thought it was Tinker Toys. I thought it was primitive, something you'd hear in a high school debating team. First of all, he went after government as some kind of evil. Then he admitted that he had gone to school on student loans.
And here with Reaction Radio talk show host, Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall, and Miami-Dade school board member Carlos Corbello. Thank you guys for being here. Let's deal with the water first. Let's put it up on the screen. You've given speeches. I've given speeches. You know what? I do it in every break. I take a drink of water. I do it all the time, all throughout my radio show. Look up on the screen. There's Barack Obama. There's Hillary Clinton. And they're all taking drinks of water during speeches. What is it? I think this is because the substance was so deep. This was the best post-State of the Union response I'd ever seen. It was great.
Oh, I can't reach now to hit my head on the desk. It's not about the water. It's about the lack of experience in the presentation. And it's about, you're going to speak to this better than I, this is a Cuban American. And the majority of Hispanics in this country are Mexican Americans. Cubans typically vote Republican. Mexicans typically vote Democrat. Just because he's Hispanic and speaks Spanish doesn't mean they're going to love him or vote for him.
The substance was hard-hitting, conservative, and it gives a very different competing message vision for the country.
And that's the problem, Sean. The extreme left cannot fathom that a Hispanic from a working class neighborhood would espouse conservative values. So they heard him last night, and they didn't have a response to that. Because for them, if you're a minority, you have to be a Democrat, you have to be a liberal. No. So they did not want to hit him back on substance, so they focused on the water.
I never thought I'd say this in my entire life. Van Jones is the only liberal that I think got it that I have heard from. Now, Chris Matthews... Look, Chris Matthews, he has a thrill up his leg every time Obama speaks. He was in full Obama-gasm mode last night. What do you expect? But Van Jones says, do this to your own peril. He's dangerous. He resonates with people. His background, his history, his story, he's articulate, he's funny, he's smart. He's the whole package. Van Jones got it. He said he's dangerous for Democrats. I agree with Van Jones for the first time in my life.
I do not agree, and I will tell you why. You know, the Latin population cannot forget that the GOP voted against the DREAM Act the first time. Second, wouldn't bring it to a vote. Cannot forget, until this last election, they wanted to shelve immigration reform. Even when former President George W. Bush wanted, and that's the only thing he and I agreed on.
You're getting off the weeds.
No, they cannot forget the voting record of the GOP of the past.
He's pushing an immigration plan that, frankly, I am intrigued by because it's going to secure the borders first. It's going to deal with the 11 million people here. But here's what's pathetic about the media in this country. Barack Obama was asked one time about his buddy, where he started his political career, Bill Ayer, Bernardine Dohrn's home. Asked one time about a guy that was part of a group that bombed the Pentagon, New York City police headquarters, in the Capitol. But there's 4,000 articles about Marco Rubio taking a drink of water. Tell me what's wrong with that scenario.
Well, Sean, and you mentioned the whole Univision story. You'd figure that a Hispanic network, a Spanish language network, would be proud of the fact that one of their own, one of our own, was going to have the honor of delivering the response to the president, not only in English, also in Spanish, yet what reflects the culture of the Univision newsroom, at least at the executive level, because there are some good people at work there now. At the executive news level, clearly there's a culture problem when an employee thinks that they can just go on Facebook and call a U.S. senator a dwarf, a slave, and all the other things she said.
It's pretty offensive. I got to tell you, if these things were said, either Chris Matthews' comments or anybody else's, there would be charges of racism, indignation, outrage. Why is it conservatives get attacked this way and nobody seems to care in the media?
I'm sorry. If the president had taken that much water, and even though I didn't think it was a big deal to focus on, or Hillary had, certainly the Clintons, come on, the right would be going crazy. And then on top of it, if the Democrats had ever given a response in Spanish, you guys would be all over us.
You know why you're wrong?
You know
because if Barack Obama took a drink for the whole speech, I'd be very happy.
Sean, but this water theme keeps coming back. Remember Paul Ryan? He drank too much water. Never mind that Joe Biden was being rude during the debate and laughing. It was Paul Ryan drinking too much water.
Who's that? Sorry. You know who that is. That's your vice president. All right, we got to go.
I love Joe Biden.
I bet you do. Regular riot.